Okay, we got one more of that kind of problem before we move on to the new stuff. One more. A box is being pushed up an inclined plane. Find the component form of the force. Now, you guys, find the component form of the force is just physics math talk for find x and y. So this isn't going to be any different. It's a different situation, not an airplane, but it's the same thing. So you've got this is 18, and this is 3. And we want to find x and y. You see how it's exactly the same problem, you guys? So how do we find x and y? Cosine and sine. So cosine 18, always cosine angle equals x over hypotenuse. Always sine angle.
Wait, isn't that 316?
What?
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, it's a 3-pound force. Yeah, so that's 3 pounds. 3. Forces, there are different units of measurement for forces, but one is pounds. All right, so what are my components? Here we go. 3 cosine 18. 2.85. And 3 sine 18. 0.93. Does anybody have a question about that? So those last 4 problems we did, plus a couple on the practice quizzes, main idea is anytime you see the word components, it means find x and y. And anytime you need to find x and y, you're going to use sine and cosine. Cosine for x, sine for y. Okay, Zion, you going to remember that?
Yeah.
Do you even know what I've said?
No.
Okay. We need to pay attention, Zion. Okay? So I'll say it one more time, especially for you. Anytime the problem says find the components, it means we're finding x and y. Anytime we need to find x and y, we're going to use cosine and sine. Cosine finds x, sine finds y. Okay? All right, so now we're ready for section 6.2, which is a new concept. It says find v dot u. And that's the way we say this, guys. We actually say the word dot. We don't say times, because in the world of vectors, there's another kind of multiplication, and this is called the cross product. Now, we're not doing that today, but the symbols mean very different things. This means do something. The dot product, this is called the dot product, is what we're going to talk about today. And it's real easy to do. The calculation is easy. To do a dot product, so we're dotting 1, negative 2, and 2, 3. To find the dot product, v dot u, we take 1 times 2, and negative 2 times 3, and we add them up. So we take 1 times 2, negative 2 times 3, and add them up. So that would be 2 plus negative 6. The answer is negative 4.
You're just multiplying.
That's it. So the answer's a number. So when I do v dot u, I take x times x, y times y, add them up. Okay? So what would the next one be? Problem B. It says -1, 6 dotted with 3, 1. This is problem B. So that'll be x times x plus y times y. Did you get 3? Okay, how about C? Will you do that one for me? Get a -2? Positive dot products have one meaning, negatives have another meaning, 0 has another meaning. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But right now, everybody got -2. All right, how about that last one? You get 24? All right, now we're going to talk quickly about what the dot product, what kind of stuff the dot product gives me, kind of information I mean. What information does the dot product give me? Lots of information. But one of the big uses of the dot product is to find angles. If the dot product is positive, if v dot u is a positive number, then the angle will be acute. If v dot u is a negative number, then the angle will be obtuse. You want to take a guess what happens if it's 0, if the dot product is 0? It's 90, it's a right angle. Now, does everybody remember what acute and obtuse mean? Acute means less than 90, obtuse means bigger than 90, and of course right means 90. Okay, so let's see how this works. We're on 2A, and we're actually going to find the angle formed by these two vectors. Step 1, find the dot product. Okay, so we just did that. So v dot u will be x times x plus y times y. Did you get -1? Now I automatically know that whatever angle I come up with now, it's going to be obtuse. So I'm going to get an answer bigger than 90. I better get an answer bigger than 90. Now, to find the angle, here comes a new thing you're going to want to write down. To find the angle, the formula says cosine of the angle, and I'm using theta, but you can use a different letter. The cosine of the angle is the dot product divided by magnitude times magnitude. Now, remember, I've got two vectors, right? So I found the dot product already, and it was -1. Now, I am going to divide that by the magnitude of this vector and the magnitude of this vector, okay? Now, what's the magnitude of this one? √10. How did Armand get √10? Square, square, add them up, square root, right? √10. Now, times the magnitude of the second one. What's the magnitude of this guy? √5. Before I type this in on my calculator, I'm going to combine those two and make that one radical, √50, because that's going to be easier for me to type in.
Excuse this interruption. At the end of class, can I have you to officer to the front office, please?
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay? Now, remember, that's the cosine. How do I find theta then? How do I find the actual angle? second cosine. So I'm going to second cosine negative 1 over root 50. I'm going to second cosine negative 1 over root 50. Okay, so let's get our calculator out. Don't worry about typing that in, it's easy. Second cosine negative 1 divided by the square root of 50. Did you get 98.13 degrees? That's what you should have gotten. Try it again if you didn't. Just second cosine negative 1, make sure you're using the negative button, divided by root 50. Mason, did you get that? Or do you not have a calculator?
No, this was missing.
Did someone else get that?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Now, remember in the beginning we said because the dot product was negative, we get an obtuse angle? We did, didn't we? All right, we're going to do one more. I think we have time. Yeah, we have time to do one more. Here we go. We're going to find the angle between these two vectors. So my vectors are 3, 2, and 5, 4. Now I know you've only done one of these, but what's the first thing we have to do? Dot product. So the dot product is x times x plus, oh gosh, I got 23, did you? So my angle is going to be acute. And to find the angle, I have a formula that says cosine theta, here's my formula. Cosine theta equals the dot product, which is 23, divided by what? Magnitude of each one. So the magnitude of this guy is the square root of 13, 9 and 4, times the square root of this one, which would be 25 and 16. Is that 41?
Yeah.
Now, I would take my calculator and combine those two radicals right now. It's easier to type in if there's only one radical. So it's the square root of 533. Just multiply 13 times 41, so you just have one radical. Is that okay?
Yes.
Now how do I get the actual angle?
Second cosine.
So second cosine 23 over root 533. Second cosine 23 divided by the square root of 533. Oh gosh, I got a little tiny, I got 4.97. Is that right? So that is the angle between those two vectors. All right, I will see you tomorrow.